Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. It's Jerry from BackCountry Wrenching, and today's video, we're going to talk about being in denial. And being in denial is something that I am. In the last video, I was trying to find every other reason, except for the main reason, why my LS swapped Jeep TJ is leaking oil. Problem first started after I finished building it. Started off as a small leak, and then over time it kept gradually getting bigger and bigger, and now I can't even park it on the ground without leaving a huge puddle of mess. So last week I cleaned it up, and then 5 days later come back out and we got another mess. Problem first goes back when I first changed out the oil pan, is where I first really noticed it. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I want to be in denial because the fix is an easy fix. It's just very time consuming to get there. Do you guys know what I'm talking about yet? If you're familiar with the Gen 3 LS engines, you are well aware that this can be a very common leak. And when this happens, you don't mess around. So as you guys know, my garage is pressed for space. So when I was at Princess Auto, I picked up this transmission jack adapter. And coming back here, this is my power fish jack I've had for, Jesus, a long time. And it has the removable plate here. And I also had to jack it up to check the height. Because if I'm not going to have the height, this is not going to work. You guys figured out yet what the issue could possibly be? Like I said before, when this happens, don't mess around. Just go for OEM parts. And the solution is right here in this box. That's the part number. This is it right here. So the problem I noticed before when I was doing the oil pan is that it was evident that I was having leaking out these corners. And I don't know if these bolts here have become loose or whatever have you not, but this time when I go to install it, I'm going to put Loctite on those two bolts. I am going to put silicone between here, on top of there, all along the bottom. We're also going to do the crack, and because we don't want to be doing this job again. So there's no easy way to go on about this. I did actually pick up some new headlamps from Amazon that we're going to try out. So this is them. Toot toot toot. It's time to let the sadness begin and start stripping this down. Alright, start pulling the drive shafts. Make sure my wheels are chalked with something. Transfer case is a neutral. Not trying to sound weak, but this is a job that'd be best suited on a hoist. And not laying on the floor and getting down and up a million times. Getting far too old for that crap. Far too old. Motorcycle jack comes in handy. I just loosen all the bolts of the pan, lower it down on a block there. I just cleaned all that oil off last week. My last set of days off. Never even started it. And she's already leaking through. Alright, with the transfer case in neutral. That looks like it's rolling back. Just have to change my position a little bit, make it a little safer now. I can roll this up enough. There we go. I can spin the drive shaft around. And then lower it back down. So I have this exhaust in like 3 pieces. Not only does it make it easier getting it in and out, it also comes in handy for doing the starter. One thing I did learn, that if I would have spent the money and got the exhaust professionally done, I would have ended up cutting it all up in the end anyways. Doing what I gotta do here, so now I gotta pry this exhaust just the way the transmission a bit. There we go. There we go. I've had this exhaust off so many times. I've been fortunate that those bolts haven't seized up yet. So now with this exhaust out, I'm able to get to the bolts of this manifold easier, as you can see. And then I originally modified this part right here because if I ever have to do a starter, I don't have to drop the whole exhaust. I just need to drop this piece here and get the starter. Now I got to get the starter out because that's the only way you're going to be able to get to the flywheel bolts to disconnect from the torque converter. So I'll pull the starter out. And then I'm going to pull the transfer case, because it's going to be easier to drop the transmission without the transfer case on it. Now that the starter's out, I'm going to go on the other side, start disconnecting the linkages. So I'm going to do on this side, instead of worrying about these little fittings right here, because they're so easy to damage because they're so small, I'm just going to undo the bolt here, pull the arm off and everything. Same with the transfer case. Going to leave everything attached to the bracket, pull this out, get it out of the way. Cut all the zip ties that hold all the wiring together. I need to get the oil pan underneath because there's a little bit of a leak between the transmission and transfer case, and when I split it, it's gonna puke some oil. Drop that down. I'll put the nut back on so I don't lose it. And then I'll bust those out and drop that down. I'm going to put the bolts back in, snug them up, just so that I don't create a leak, because that's the last thing I want. This is kind of the last bolt, I believe, for the transfer case. And then Butterfingers. Want to loosen her off enough that I can bust the case free. Because I know once I split it, it's gonna start pissing oil. Once all the oil's drained, I get my motorcycle jack underneath. Except I used the right stuff on it, so I know it's gonna be on there good. Oh, there we go. I broke it free. Power of the pry bar and some leverage. Well, that wasn't too bad. Got transfer case out. And on the mount, I could probably, whoops, drop the transmission about another inch at an angle, and then I'll be able to get a look down the tunnel and see all my access is going to be for those top bolts. And maybe if I drop it down an inch, there's that one bolt on the other side that's a little tight to the pinch weld, so we'll see if we can get that out. Well, I don't have a motorcycle or quad anymore. This jack has saved my life countless times. Bought it used years ago, and it's treated me well. It's a Mastercraft, I think, so I think it was from Canadian Tire. I don't even know if Canadian Tire even sells them anymore. Oh, this is my pile of parts. That's it assembled. Now I gotta fit it up to the jack. So if you're lucky enough and your jack has a removable foot, you'll be able to spin that out. Wants to fight me all the way to the end. Unthread it, pull out. That will fit. Of course it won't. Still make this work. I just have to cut this knob off. Use the plasma cutter. Cut a hole the size that this will fit in. That way it'll screw back into my jack and we'll get this thing going. But I'm gonna worry about that in a bit. I need to pull the exhaust out of here, and I'm also going to pull the transfer case as well to make it easier. I'm going to deal with that in the next video. It's going to be about an hour's work to fix that up. What a day, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have not been very motivated to do this project, in all honesty. I'm coming up to the garage maybe 4 hours at a time. 4 hours one day, 4 hours the next, because this is one of those projects that you always think about in the back of your head, that sooner or later it's going to happen, but you don't want to tackle it, and this is exactly what it is. But once I find out a way, and you do it once, and then you know how to do it the next time. But once it's out, it'll go back together way easier, because I already have all the tools out and everything else. So I'm going to go inside, clean up, and I'm gonna have a fire tonight and kick back in my heated chair. My heated chair I got from Cabela's. We're gonna try that out again because that makes camping in the wintertime so much more nicer. But I'm just having a fire in my backyard, so heated seat. Whoever thought, eh? All right, it's motherfucking beer time. From Big B Brew, we got Attila the Honey coming in at 5%. Let's crack this bad boy open. All right, motherfucking beer time. Got a fire going in the yard. I'm making some progress. Next video, if there's no issues, we'll have the transmission out and getting all the parts replaced. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not something I was looking forward to, but has to be done. It's been leaking for about a year now, and I got it nip it in the butt because the oil leak just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. I'm going to tell you right now, having a heated chair is absolutely brilliant. For those cold fall days in spring and during the winter, definitely takes the chill out of the chair. No more frozen butt. Works really well. This is total genius. And it's super comfortable as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.